right, everybody. I'm ready to start. Let me play a little music here. Let me get in the mood. It's ladies' night.
Like it.
Let me hold the music for right now. Everyone, good evening. Good evening. I'm excited. I'm also welcoming you tonight with Giants, our second one for 2023. Let me just start with hello, because that's the right place to start. Welcome to the place where underdogs expect to win, KCTowns.com. As most of you know that have seen the show before, I'm Casey Towns. I'm your host, and tonight is very, very special because I have the pleasure of hosting three of the sharpest lady leaders on the planet. All of them market makers in their own right, all three from different fields, corporate leadership, uh, loving relationships, six-figure mentorships, and so much more. Just so much stuff to cover tonight. It's going to be a great night. I'm ready to launch, but as I always do, and I normally don't get into it this quick, but I'm ready to go. But as I always do, I want to pay homage to our past leaders and the audiences that sat on the previous shows because they blazed this trail that enabled us to be on tonight. And they're the ones who make tonight's show a reality. So huge thanks to everyone who watched before and participated before. And now let's get this evening's event started. But housekeeping first, we're going to be simulcast on Facebook at KC Towns Trainings and at my site, kctowns.com, also on YouTube. So you can still invite folks if you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing. And if you have questions during the broadcast, type your questions in the chat box and have them answered by all of our special guests. And with that, I think I covered everything. I'm ready to get started. I want my guests to know for some reason, for some strange reason, I received so much positive feedback and emails, about the advice and thumbs up for the ladies that are going to be on all around the social media globe. I got all kinds of feedback. I got it on Instagram. I got it in my email. I got it on Facebook. And I'm appreciative. More social media feedback than ever. So tonight, I'm just poised and ready for a great event. So let's get started. Let me introduce to some and present to all our very first guest speaker. This lady leader is the first back-to-back. She doesn't know this, but she's the first back-to-back show guest I've ever hosted. No one has ever been on like 1 month and then the next month. She's the first. And she was a part of an incredible event last month. And we got feedback requesting her to return for Ladies Night. And I'm just so glad that she was able to adjust her schedule. Presenting and introducing Miss Jessica Parker. Miss Parker, I want to go ahead and get this thing turned over to you. So with that, let me go ahead and give you the stage.
All right. Well, good evening. And thank you so much for having me on your platform again, Mr. Casey Towns. I'm excited to be on a second time in a row. First time for the second time. So that's awesome. I'm super excited. And so let me give you guys a little background. I grew up in Germany. I went to school there. My father was an opera singer, so we traveled a lot when I was a child growing up. He was the first person to introduce me really to entrepreneurship. We were traveling with him, and I would sell his CDs, if anybody still knows what those are, and got that first taste of selling. And so it is no coincidence that I now am fully in sales and an entrepreneur for the last, I'm going to say 18 something years, and in the insurance industry, helping, developing, coaching, training, mentoring life insurance agents to sell final expense insurance. And we've done that successfully under the umbrella of Universal Benefits with the Parker Group right here out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. We represent 8 states, and we offer final expense life insurance to seniors. And that is really a hot topic right now. A lot of people have gone through, unfortunately, having to bury their families on GoFundMes and things of that nature. So our mission is to make sure that everyone has a final expense life insurance policy, and therefore, it's a huge career opportunity and lots of money to be made in that industry. And we're excited to have, a support system, a platform there to help agents really get to where they're looking to go. I'm working on several projects right now, so I'm super excited about those. In the middle of actually creating some new things. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but yes, so that is my quick introduction. In the life insurance industry for several years now, and right here out of Cherry Hill, offering final expense services and building six-figure earners. So our goal is to assist 1,000 agents in the next several years to become six-figure earners. So it's always about branding. It's always about, really helping and lifting the next person up and showing the way to financial freedom. So there you have it.
I'm appreciative. I appreciate you breaking that down, because I'm going to have a few questions for you as we roll through this. Matter of fact, I know I will, about your goals and your desires in terms of building. So you don't go anywhere. Stay with
All
us,
right.
okay? We are rolling now. Great launch, okay, Ms. Parker, great launch to tonight's show. This next lady leader is someone that I've had the pleasure of knowing for a couple of decades, since we were extremely young in business when we got started. She's gone from being a distributor to a corporate executive, health coach, motorcycle rider, and a whole lot of other stuff too. I even saw her with a surfboard one time. So let me go ahead and introduce and present my good friend and leader, incredible leader, Miss Vanessa Jackson. Miss Jackson, I turn it over to you.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Casey. I appreciate it. And yes, I try to do it all. I am living my best life. I am originally from Delaware and moved out to California in 2008. And I said, I just want to live outdoors and do everything that I want to do. So I try to say yes to life in any way possible. But I've always had a passion for helping others and having a positive impact on others. So I think that started back when I first started my first business, which was in 1994. And I, also had a really strong interest in fitness. I wanted to do a fitness competition, had no idea what I was doing. So I recruited a couple of my friends who had done that before and said, okay, let me know what I need to do. I ended up going out there and taking first place. So super excited about that. I got the attention of a 6-degree black belt sensei, and he ended up wanting me to teach his kickboxing classes. I had never taught kickboxing before a day in my life. And so he taught me what to do. I taught the classes. And then we ended up co-creating a self-defense course. And we kind of disguised it as a fitness program. So the people that were taking it had no idea they were learning self-defense. At the end of the class, we would show them what they actually just learned. So the sensei would come and attack me, and I would use the same moves that we did in class to work out. And that would be the way that I would defend myself. And so that was a ton of fun. After that, I ended up becoming a personal trainer, a group exercise instructor, the health and wellness director of several fitness facilities across the country. And I said, you know what? I think it's time that I start my own business. So in 2016, actually right after I bought this house, I said, I want to start my own company and be able to have more of an impact and do the things that I want to do and the things that I felt my clients really needed versus what the gyms or, the people that I were working with were wanting me to do. And so Train for Life was born then. And I have just been having a blast ever since then. So basically, the reason I call it Train for Life is I had a lot of people would say, they would see me in the gym training for the fitness competition or whatever I was doing. And they would say what are you training for now? What are you training for now? And I was like, I'm just training for life because, if we're not in a position where we feel good in all areas of our life, then what are we doing? So training for life is, mental, emotional, physical, financial, all of that. Our motto is healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. So I love that because it's very comprehensive. It incorporates 3. And if you want to have that overall, healthy lifestyle, you're going to have it in all the areas of your life. So it's been really great to be able to have such a positive impact on my clients. And to know that, one body at a time, I'm able to go out there and help to change the world and make us all happier, healthier, and living our own best lives. So thank you.
Somebody just texted me and I just texted him back. He said, was she a stunt double on MacGyver? I'm like, what?
I was a stunt double. but not on MacGyver. Yes, I was
Oh,
a stunt double for a motorcycle movie. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll get to that. Okay. Just don't jump out the window in the middle of this interview. Okay. All right, family. Again, great launch to our evening. Our third lady leader has been rocking the love and relationship world for a few years now. She has, with a great track record. And when I say that, I'm talking about, of reaching back and helping men and women get an understanding, get a foothold on the boundaries of life and relationships and love and a whole lot more. So, let me introduce and present to everyone Miss Focus James. Miss James, let's get you in here, Miss Life and Love Specialist.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here tonight. My story starts back when I was 18. I was 18 and married a 21-year-old where, our brain wasn't even fully developed. So it's no way we should have been trying to pick a partner for the next 50 years, but we were doing so. We call ourselves not sinning and having sex before marriage, but caused about 100 more problems. So my actual story comes out of a real life situation. We actually found ourselves not married anymore, went through a divorce. It took me about 10 years to heal from that episode. And I traveled about 37 states, going to every workshop, leadership workshop, retreat you can think of, trying to heal that hurt. So it blossomed my company called The Focus of Love, where I help people heal relationship hurt so that they can actually get the love they want and have the life they love. So that's the joy I get to do. I get to wake up every morning looking for those types of people. I'll actually just shifted where I'm helping people look at their last month and kind of measure it with the wheel of life, right? So that they can, see that their life is getting juicy and then create the next month. So that's what I get to do full time right now. I'm really excited about that fact. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see me. Okay. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm excited about that because, of course, I know you from your business background.
Yeah.
And to some degree, I know all of you from a portion of our business background.
Yeah.
So these paths that all of you have taken are just so, so different. Everybody's different tonight. So we're going to bring a lot of spice to the show tonight in terms of business, in terms of life, in terms of relationships, but mainly in terms of experience. Because if you're listening to our guests tonight, everything that they've done, everything that they've evolved into has been an evolution from experience, things they've gone through to get where they are today. So we're about to launch tonight's giant event. But before we do, as always, I have a few questions for our special guests to get us launched, to get us started. I'll start with you, Miss Jackson. Vanessa, let's roll out with you, okay? I got to look over here at my questions. I've been looking at the screen at y'all. I got to look at my questions now. Okay, I got a little reminder over here. You multitask in business, holding multiple positions. Get us started sharing a little bit about this health coach endeavor. What does your typical client look like? As you talk about different people, what's that client look like?
Absolutely. So most of my clients want to lose weight, but that's not all of the clients. That's just probably the majority of them. I have clients who are athletes, clients who are nursing moms, teenagers, people with diabetes, thyroid issues. I mean, the list goes on. So it's really anybody who's looking to get healthy in, various different ways. So there's nobody out there that doesn't need to get healthier in some area, and but the majority of them are those who want to lose weight. I lost 35 pounds myself, and have been able to maintain and keep that off for 2.5 years. And that's another key component here is we want to make sure that our clients are not just yo-yoing back and forth, adding the weight back on, taking it off, getting out of those healthy habits. I want to teach them how to have that lifelong transformation so they can take it off and keep it off.
Okay, I have a question for you. I'm going to keep you up on the screen, though. My question is, that's a significant amount of weight loss. Was that the most you've ever, I'm not trying to get you to tell on yourself, but was that the most you've ever lost? And how quick was that? And have the results been long-standing?
Yes. So 2.5 years. So ever since I lost it, 2.5 years it has been, and I maintain that. Yes, that is the most that I've had to lose. I never really struggled with weight before in my life. I was lucky in that way. I was always very active. But when I got a little bit older, and sorry guys, hit menopause and had a hysterectomy, and little by little, I had 1 or 2 pounds that would start to add on. A couple years later, another couple pounds. Before you knew it, I was at my highest weight that I had ever been, and I was shocked because I thought that I knew more than the average person on what to do to be able to get healthy, stay healthy, maintain that lifestyle.
Mhm.
And everything that I was doing was not working. So once I really incorporated the proper nutrition program into my lifestyle, everything fell into place. It took me 3.5 months to lose the 35 pounds. And on top of that, I had a lot of other what we call non-scale victories. So, again, the ladies, you'll understand this, but I didn't have the back fat over my bra strap. I didn't have all the extra chins, and I felt better. I had more energy. I feel like I'm already pretty energetic, but I had even more energy. And it's just overall, once you feed your body proper nutrients, then you have the energy and the ability, the brain fog leaves your head, and you can clearly focus and feel like you truly are living the life that you were designed to live.
Cool. Of course, I don't understand the bra strap, but I do understand the chin. Okay. I got that part. Okay. All right. Great answer. I appreciate that. And comprehensive too. Miss Focus,
Yeah.
our life and love relationship expert. My question is going to center around what you do. So,
yes, sir.
Question and by the way, family, you can start typing questions in the comments so we can start getting your questions. So far, we just got one. So
Yeah.
I'm going to keep asking questions. I got a bunch of them. So I'm just going to interview till we get questions falling in. So, and then, of course, I'll respect the lady that has a question or a comment. You are a relationship expert.
Yeah.
How do you help others get what you call, I can't wait for this answer, a juicy life? What's talking about the juicy life?
Yes, a juicy life. Well, someone was just texting me that's getting on as well, asking a question. So I'll definitely make sure I answer that as well. That's why I was on my phone. He wanted to know, because I shared in the promo, how do men get the respect from a woman and the S word? The S word stands for submit. So I definitely want to make sure I hit that. Well, the juicy life is the alignment of the body, the mind and the spirit. I love what Vanessa just said. And we know that there's so much that goes in this body, but also having a discipline to decide how you're going to take care of your body, right? How you're going to take care of your mind and your spirit. It matters. It's all a combination of all three of those. So having a juicy life is being attentive to all of those areas. And I use a specific tool called the Wheel of Life. I created, it's about 7 areas of life. And we meet the first of every month, and we really chunk down and go, what do I want in these areas? And we look at what we did the month before and what we're going to create the month coming. So that you have accountability. They have another soul to look at, someone else's eyes and say that you're declaring this for your life. Because as we know, we can talk ourselves in and out of success in the same conversation, right? But when you have a village that's supporting you, you have a life coach like myself, you have, business partners, you have workout partners. So we do all of that by design and just really live by design. And the ultimate is to live through your purpose, right? So I really engage people to declare, what is your purpose? Why are you here? What's your existence for? And live through that. And that, because a lot of people have a lot of success, money, calendars are full, but they don't have fulfillment. So how do we get both? And that's how I get to share that with people, how to get both. And I want to swing back around and answer that question that I shared in the promo, which is how to get women to submit. So if you want to swing back around, Casey, I would love to make sure I get that question answered for the fellas. Someone texted me and was like, don't forget to answer that question.
Tell them to type it in. I got people texting me too. I'm not sure what's going on. People are texting me questions.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm texting back, put it in chat box.
Yeah.
But they're like, just ask her. So anyway, and it's every month is different. Sometimes we get all the questions in the chat box. Sometimes people text the guests. If you get questions text to you, just share with us and we'll talk about it. But I'm going to leave you up for a second too. I got a question for you.
Sure.
Okay, so you talk about, people's purpose and, the intention, the purpose and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you start to talk about, when you start to talk to couples and the purpose for this juicy life that you talk about. What if they're in two different arenas? What if they're just not even close?
Yeah.
How do you overcome that?
Well, it's actually nothing to overcome. It's to celebrate that you're on different paths and different journeys. Doesn't mean you still can't cheer each other on, right? So you have a lot of people that are creatives with people that are left-brained, where they're thinking about where they're used mainly their left brain. So they might be the accountant, right? The number cruncher. And then you have this person that is the painter, right? Or the social media creator, right? And it's so okay because you get to balance each other out, celebrate each other. Here's the key to that. I love that you asked that question. You know how when it's cold, we need two gloves. And we would not put two gloves on one. When you're trying to convert your spouse to be more like you, you're saying you're not enough. And you're going to leave that other hand out in the cold and get frostbite. So celebrate, because you need both hands covered to take care of your body, soul, and your spirit. So that's how you want to see your spouse. Leave them folks alone and love that person as they are, right? And celebrate them as they are and enjoy your path. And then that way you guys can celebrate life together.
Awesome. Appreciate you. I just got a text saying that the chat box disappeared. Okay, so everyone who's watching, if your chat box disappeared, just send your question to whoever invited you. Oh, somebody's coming up now. Okay, no, they're coming. Okay, they started to come now. Okay, maybe there was some kind of glitch. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Ms. Parker, Ms. Jessica Parker, your mission to create 1,000 six-figure success stories in the coming years. Even if you said 20 years, you said in the next 10 years. So obviously you've got some type of idea how you're going to do that, because average people hear that and they say that's impossible. That can't be done. So how do you regulate your time and everything else to attack a goal like that?
Yes. So I was told a long time ago that you had to set goals so big that they would scare you, right? I think we all have heard that before. And I had gone to an event I believe it was last year or the year before last year. And I shared with one of the biggest mentors that are out there right now, Mr. Grant Cardone. I spoke to him and told him that my goal was to help 100 agents to become six-figure earners. And he threw his hands up and said, make it 1,000. You have to 10x your goals. It has to be crazy. It has to be huge and big to the point where you're scared of it and everyone that hears it won't believe it. And you just did exactly that. You said, this is an impossible goal, but nothing is impossible if you believe that you can achieve it, and if you have the right support system and the right leadership around you. And our visionary, Dr. Ted Wilson Sr., who is the founder of Universal Benefits, he also has created a huge vision for us to follow. And, he is telling us that we are going to be a $100 million a year organization. And I believe that it's possible. And, I'm believing in what, sometimes you have to believe in someone else's belief until you can really believe what you're able and capable of doing in your space. So that is the vision, that is the mission. And we have begun. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey that has changed lives, that has changed my life. And I'm excited about it. And it's purpose. It's about purpose. It's about a life mission. It's going to take time, and it's just one agent at a time.
So even at, and this is business 101, but, I think we talked about this a little bit last month on the Night with Giants. Even at a successful level of income and of success for helping other people that you've achieved, someone still sees things in you that you may not have thought about or you may not have seen that inspired you to help others. Is that what you're sharing with us?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think that us as leaders too, when we're mentoring, we're coaching, we're training other people, we see their potential and we see something in them that they don't see in themselves. So that same thing happened to me. Someone saw in me something I didn't see years ago. And there's still more. There's still so much more, to do and to become. So I think that is the exciting part about it, kind of seeing how far you can actually take it. When you reach a goal, there's another goal. And once you hit that, there's something else. So there's just the excitement of really kind of outdoing yourself and seeing what you're capable of at every corner. So
Got you. Appreciate that. So I got a bunch of questions, but there are a couple of questions up on the board. Again, if you do not have a chat box that's showing up, just send a message or send that text to either Miss Jackson or Miss Parker or Miss James, and they'll just say, Casey, I just got a question in, and we'll handle that. And I actually have a couple too. So let me just do this. Before we turn this over to our studio audience, I just share with everyone any current projects that you're involved in right now, or in development right now, or you're getting ready to crush right now that you might want the universe to know about. And that might bring up more questions. We got some questions coming up. I'll get into them, but I want you to share any projects you're working on. I have no order for this. Just, hey, we're just going to have a fireside chat. Whoever goes, we're going to put you up on the screen. Okay, Miss James, we can't hear you.
There we go. I just did a segment on Fox 29. They have me on there quite often. I'm really grateful for that. They actually offered me the opportunity to pitch them a segment specifically for me. So for all those that pray, keep praying for that, because I would love to be a regular on there. And they wanted me to answer the question, right? How to really assess your new year and plan for the up and coming new year. So I just did that segment on Fox 29. And so what I have going on, I really wanted to support people on a monthly basis, because of course, to Jessica's point, you definitely want to have goals. You want to have big goals that's, monthly, quarterly, a year, 5 years, 10 years, right? But most people fall off within about 45 days, right? It takes about 21 days to start a habit. So having accountability in a systematic way to get in that habit, to build the belief, to build the possibility, and to hunker down. What do I want? What really matters to me? So I offer that the first of every month, no matter what day of the week it falls on. If it's in the evening, if it's during the week, we meet from 7 to 9. If it's during the weekend, we meet from 10 to noon. And I really sit down and help you to pull out your calendar and get present to what matters to you. So I do that on a monthly basis. So you're welcome to join me for those that would like to do so. And you can go to focusjames.com to make that happen.
Man, Focus, congratulations on that. I know Fox 29 is a big deal in Philadelphia. I mean, it's Philadelphia, but still, it's a big deal, period, end of story. So congratulations on that. I know the best is yet to come as far as what that is going to lead to. Other ladies, it's wide open. What are you working on? What do you want the universe to know about? It may bring out some more questions from some of the shy ladies and guys that don't want to really flood our lines with questions, although we have a few. So it's open.
All right, Vanessa, I'm taking over. Well, I got a couple of exciting things going on. Oh, Vanessa, you're on the screen. Go for it.
I think that's Casey.
Oh, Vanessa, is that you?
Well, I'm on the screen, but Ms. Parker was talking.
We can't hear you.
He got his buttons mixed up.
I'm on the screen. Ms. Parker was talking.
Okay, so who was that had something to say? Was it you or Jessica?
Jessica.
Oh, my bad. Okay. My bad, Jessica. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, so we got some exciting stuff happening at the Parker Group. Every month, we actually have a life insurance sales boot camp that takes place in South Carolina, Sumter, South Carolina, at Universal Benefits headquarters. And we are taking agents down to that boot camp in droves. That boot camp has really helped create a lot of successful life insurance agents. We're teaching them the ABCs, the ground floor, really foundation of how to become a great salesperson, how to be of service out there in the communities with our seniors. And we're doing this twice a month.
Excellent.
And so any insurance agent that never really had the support, or is just floating around there in no man's land without real training, definitely reach out to me, hit me in my inbox, my DM, as they say, so we can get you into one of those boot camps. That is something that we're committed to doing every single month in 2023. We are also launching a call center to give agents opportunities to do telesales now, which is super exciting for our agency. And also, I'm really excited to say that I will be a keynote speaker at an event on April 15th, which is a life insurance agent conference in Missouri. Awesome. And that will be the first time that I'll be addressing a different organization and talking to agents on how to really build agency, how to become $1 million agency, how to really set yourself up for long-term success in the industry, because that is not an easy thing to do. Average insurance agents only earn about $40,000, $50,000. So how can you take that to $250,000, $500,000, $1 million a year in income? So we'll be talking about that. And then, Casey, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I'm co-authoring something that we're cooking up that's supposed to launch in the next upcoming months. So I'm going to just leave it at that and let you talk about that a little bit more, because I am partnered up with you in that project. And lastly, I am involved in real estate. That has definitely been something that my dad actually pushed me into, because he had a love not just for opera, but he also was a businessman, and he pulled me into real estate about, I want to say, 13 years ago. And so I'm excited to say that I'm launching my third Airbnb, and awesome. Many more to come. So that's what I got going on.
Outstanding. Congratulations on all of that. And yes, just so people know, Jessica and I and the incredible Mr. Vincent King are co-authoring a book that is right on the verge of being released shortly. So we won't say too much more about that. We're excited about that. And thank you so much for that. And by the way, I learned something. I didn't know the average insurance agent, I don't think most people know that the average insurance agent only earns, less than $60,000 a year. I thought most insurance agents earn between $80,000 and $120,000. That's kind of the myth that a lot of people believe, and that's what I was told. So, and I was in the industry for a while, so appreciate that. Okay, Miss Jackson, you have anything for us, ma'am? Projects you're working on, things you want to unleash?
I sure do. Well, I have one focus, and that is to offer value and to help others. In the last couple of years, I was able to help over 200 clients get healthy, and I'm projected to triple that this year. So over 600 clients, myself and my team will be helping. And the nice thing that I like about it is predictable results. So I know that I will be able to get my clients results regardless. And that's a really good feeling, not only for myself, but it gives them confidence. And when they have confidence, they actually want to continue to do the program and not give up on it. So that's really good. I offer a free recipe on my Facebook every single day, and an inspiration. So it might inspire them to do better or to just feel good about themselves. And I hope that whether they become a client or not, you don't have to become a client of mine to be able to get some of the items that I offer for free. I just want to put kindness and love out into the world. And so if anybody wants to take any of that, please do. And all I ask is that you find somebody else to pass it on to, and you spread the kindness as well. Another thing I wanted to mention also, my clients do not have to be local here in Southern California. My clients can be all across the United States and also in Hong Kong and Singapore. So yeah, if you are wanting to be one of those 600 that we're helping this year, just let me know.
Man, I appreciate that, Vanessa. One thing about Vanessa, I want everybody to know before I take her down off the single screen, is that Vanessa has a history of reaching back and helping people. She's known for that. Just like Focus is known for being an expert on relationships and life and love, just like, excuse me, Jessica is known for her training, incredible training. Vanessa has a history of helping people, take the calories off, the pounds off, and get healthy so they could be on the planet longer. And now she's just giving stuff away. So appreciate you giving it away on my show. This is the place to give it away. So I appreciate you. So let's get into these questions. I am so appreciative of all of you sharing with us. And it did open up some more questions, okay, for our audience. Okay, and let me see here. I think it's Shalia Cherry. Okay, she gives kudos. She says, hats off to the entire panel of lovely ladies and salute to the illustrious Miss Jessica Parker of the Parker Group. Okay, she gives an address. Okay, so somewhere in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And Miss Tara Flowers, for Jessica Parker, how are you able to balance work and family? Cool question. Turn it over to you, Miss Parker.
Am I able to balance work and family? Well, let me just say it this way. I was a single mom when I started this business, which was a long time ago. My son now is 25 years old and he's doing his own thing. And my family lives in Germany. I have family in Florida. So really, I'm not balancing family right now. So I am really excited that I can focus on my business 100%. But just talking from the past, I would always incorporate, business and family, because business becomes lifestyle. And it had to be a conversation, back then with my son when he was little. Mommy has to work, we have to make some sacrifices, but these are the things that, we'll be able to do when, we get to our goals. And so I had his full support. He would always cheer me on. And every time I would come home, he said, Mommy, how many sales did you make today? So it ended up being a really beautiful experience to have the support, ultimately, of my family as well. And my son, and just them understanding really the end result, the outcome of all the hard work, what it would accomplish and do for them. And so I think it has to be to create some balance. There has to be a schedule. Everything has to kind of be scheduled, so that way you're not taken away from the things that are important when it comes to family, and also having things scheduled for your business that you cannot negotiate, that you must, stick to. So that's how I would answer that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Ms. Parker. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take liberty, because what I didn't share with everyone is that all three of these lady leaders have been single parent business women. So I need to hear from all three. That's a great question to start us off. I got people texting me questions. For those of you watching and texting me, I got you. I'm not going to forget you. Okay, so I'm going to ask, let's go in this order. Ms. Jackson, how do you balance family and business?
So now it's a little bit different. I think I've learned some tools that help me much better than I used to do before, because I had no idea what I was doing. And also my family has changed. So my daughter, when I started my own business, was 10 years old. And what I would do is I brought her to the trainings with me. So if I had an event where I could learn how to build my business, I brought her with me. It was before, iPads, computers, all those things were around. So I gave her a pen and paper and let her doodle or whatever she wanted to do, sitting right next to me. Nowadays, she's 39. Well, she'll be 39 in May. But it's much different. Now I work in the nooks and crannies of my life. So as Ms. Parker was saying, there are certain things that are just solid and very important. And I call those my rocks in my schedule. So, and the best way for me to be as effective as possible, I used to think I was a really good multitasker. And the reality is no one can multitask. We can focus on one thing at a time, or we can halfway focus on more than one thing at a time. So I realized that by putting my schedule together, as Ms. Parker was saying as well, putting those rocks in place, these are the absolute must that I need to do today. Here, the next things are things that I want to achieve. And then the other ones are things that I would like to achieve. And then I just go throughout my day and I follow the calendar. So basically, I put my calendar together and then the calendar is the boss. If the calendar says that I need to do X, Y, or Z, I make sure that I do it. Because if you're working for somebody else, you have certain tasks that you need to do and you get them done. If you're working for yourself, sometimes the temptation is to take that phone call or to, lay on the couch, or I work from home. So you've got all of that that's tempting you right here. And you want to make sure that you're treating your business as equally as you would treat somebody else's business, or even more seriously, because you need to build it for yourself. So building that calendar and then letting that calendar be the boss.
Excellent. Hence goes that old saying, treat your business like a job and not like a hobby, because if you do, you get hobby results.
That's
Awesome.
so cool.
Appreciate you. And Miss James, talk to us how you balance family. You're a life expert. Go ahead, just talk.
Wow. So it's amazing because I have a 29-year-old and a 12-year-old. So it's like I'm doing it all over again. And my son, Alan, he was 8 when I first started my businesses. So yes, to Vanessa's point, he went to every training. He's not himself now. He went for college for business. I come a huge party for his 24th birthday, I think it was. And he was like, I gave him his LLC when he was 25 and he was totally stoked. I was like, wow, I should have just gave that to you last year, right? And
Wow.
I think it's directly related from him reading, Eat That Frog, Robert Kiyosaki for Teens, and just being in all the trainings that I was in. So it can be a phenomenal way to train your children third party when they're watching and learning. Now, this 12-year-old is a little different, right? She has a different type of personality. So I have her running things. So she sets up all of my lights. She takes care of my schedule. She gives me a time reminder. Mom, you got 30 minutes to your next session, right? So that's her thing. She likes to kind of keep me in order. She's very organized. She doesn't really like the training that much. So I let her run things. So she'll set up the room. She'll make sure everybody has whatever papers they need, any virtual things I need to do. So it allows for a partnership and for us to see each other different than just mother and child, right? So I think it gives them a level of maturity and autonomy that they're participating in their families, destiny, legacy, growing money. The thing I learned from my daughter, for this 12-year-old, is what I call an hour of power. I shared this on Fox 29 on one of the other interviews. So the first hour for her, when she wakes up, it's all about her. So I don't take a text, an email, a call, because to Vanessa and Jessica point, something will pull you away. So that's her hour of power to make sure she gets breakfast, she's dressed, and I get her to school, and then I allow myself to kick in gear.
So to some degree, it's controlled through involvement.
That's exactly right. So she feels like she's a part of it instead of alone and separate, and I'm upstairs in the office and she's downstairs, right? So she's tracking everything. So that's a great way to put it. Yep.
Outstanding. We got a lot of questions now. This lady texted me a while ago, okay, and she asked the question for focus. I'll leave you up there. Okay. She said, what advice would you give an older woman? I'm not sure how old she is, but an older woman who's been in an unfulfilled relationship. Wow. We're getting deep now. We in this thing. Who's been in an unfulfilled relationship marriage for years, but is afraid to make any moves. Turn it over to you.
Yeah, I would say do it afraid. And the first thing is, what makes it unfulfilled? Is what I would ask you to ask yourself. And then if you're unfulfilled, he is too. So it's a conversation that needs to be had. And kick it off that way and go, hey, I know I'm still yearning for some things in our relationship. What do you need to be happy and fulfilled in this relationship? And allow him to fully express himself. Don't make him wrong. Don't correct him. You asked him the question, so he gets the answer. And then you can ask permission and go, I would like to share with you my thoughts as well. Can I do that? Right. So most of the time we're not being gracious to each other. We're at the opposite ends. You're at that corner. I'm at that corner. Get out of the boxing ring. You're on the same team. Right. So this is not a match. This is something you want to do together. Like you're running track and you're passing. So that's what I would say. Have conversation and listen. You got to fight fair. You can't bring up stuff. Ladies, just the complaint I get from men. You can't bring up stuff from 1972. Right. We got to deal with it, allow ourselves to process it and forgive and choose to forgive so you can have a juicy life, because you'll keep holding on to that stuff and you won't feel fulfillment. So I would challenge that. And I do offer a 30-minute, one-time consultation for any person that is listening to us today. You can go to focusjames.com, click that, and say, "Hey, Focus, I saw you on KC show, and I want my time." It's called a discovery call, and we can chat it out.
Say that one more time, your contact, just in case she was taking notes.
Yeah.
And didn't get a chance to get that. How does she contact you?
Absolutely. It's on focusjames.com. Mr. Casey Towns has it right there at the bottom of the screen for you. So that's focusjames.com. And you'll see an opportunity where it says coaching and it says discovery. And you just click that and make your appointment. I would love to talk to you or just both of you guys. But if you're kicking it off, you can get an amazing breakthrough even if you're just there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, just so I'm a little out of sequence right now, but for Miss Jackson, Mr. King, Mr. Vincent King. Oh, Mr. Vincent King, glad you tuned in tonight, sir. He said he's actually been looking for a nutritionalist. Two things for you. First thing is, you're going to give your contact information at the end, right, for Mr. King, how you can get in touch with you?
Sure. Yeah. I can give it now or I can give it at the end, whatever you prefer.
Why don't you go ahead and give it now, and then we'll give all the contact information at the end again.
Okay. Sounds good. So are we looking at phone numbers or social medias? I mean, I don't mind giving both.
Give us one now. You can give the other one at the very end.
Okay. So phone number 302-494-4046. It is a Delaware number, but I do live in California. I've just held on to my number. So yeah, you can contact me there. Texting is usually best. And then I can respond back and we can set up a time to talk. But, and as Ms. James had said, I am actually offering 3 lucky winners who are on tonight a free coaching session as well. So the first 3 people who contact me will get that health coaching session. So you said it was Vincent. Feel free to go ahead and reach out. And the other way is through Facebook, but we'll get over that later on at the end.
Outstanding. Outstanding. I have another young lady. Let Miss Parker know I'll be contacted. Okay. Let Miss Parker know I'll be contacting her. No name or anything. So Miss Parker, there's a young lady out there that's going to be contacting you. Can you go ahead and give, this is kind of out of sequence, but can you give your contact information too? Then I'm going to get back to the questions here because I understand people are texting all of you directly.
Yes, absolutely. You can contact me or find me on Instagram at Miss Parker_TPG. You can find me on Facebook, Jessica C. Parker. You can email me at jparkergroup@yahoo. And I also have a free workshop going on tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. So anyone that wants to learn more about how to become successful with your life insurance license, definitely DM me so I can send you the registration link. It is free, and it is a seminar workshop going over the details of how you can become a 6-figure earner in the life insurance business. So you definitely want to hit me up on those handles.
Outstanding. And Ms. Parker is an incredible trainer, but I have a quick question for you. So even a newbie, somebody that's just thinking about it, can tune in and watch.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, we have taken people that come from all walks of life that have never sold anything that became extremely successful in the industry.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah. Mr. Abdul Hakim Ahmed put up here, I just sent a message to Ms. Parker. So can you read his question? And then, unless it's just a message, can you read his question and then go ahead and answer it for everybody's benefit?
I don't know where he sent the message to.
Okay. I'll give you a moment just to try to find it. Is that good with you?
Okay, let's see.
And while Jessica's looking at that, can I share the question that was asked of me?
Sure. Give me one moment.
Okay, no.
Give me one moment.
Okay. All right. Well, somebody asked. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Somebody asked, where is the office located? It is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, but we are represented in all 8. Well, we are represented in Jersey, Maryland, DC. We are in Virginia. We are in North and South Carolina. We are in Georgia. Those are our states. So we have offices locally here in New Jersey and Cherry Hill at 1111 Marcrest Road. Somebody posted it up in the comments there, 1111 Marcrest Road in Cherry Hill. And you can look us up on the website too. It's tparkergroup.com. tparkergroup.com. And that all our information, how to reach us, how to contact us, phone number, address, everything is there. So tparkergroup.com.
I have Mr. Ahmed's. He texts me too. So he said, it breaks my heart for Mrs. Parker. It breaks my heart to see people holding GoFundMe. Yeah, mine too. GoFundMe events to bury their loved ones. Do you see challenges in getting people to understand the importance of services such as yours? How do you overcome reluctance?
I mean, you can't, unfortunately, help someone that's not gonna see what they're supposed to see, right? You can't. When in our world we call it, like, you can't cover ignorance, right? A lot of times people don't really understand it until they experience death, where someone in their circle experiences death without coverage, and they have to go through kind of figuring out how to pay for it. We do sit down and have a serious conversation, and a lot of times it's them just being in fear that they can't qualify or that it's too expensive, but really they don't want to put their family through the financial hardship, and they just don't know what options they have.
Right.
So once we sit down and have the conversation and we talk with them and we show them what they can do, even if it's just something, because something is better than nothing.
Right.
That's usually when people do make the right move to protect their family against that expense.
Okay. Good stuff. So hopefully, Mr. Ahmed, if you want to come back on with another comment that answers your question. I don't know what happened to all the other comments. They just kind of disappeared, and I went away for a minute too and came back, and some of the questions are gone. Can you guys still hear me?
I can, and I can see the comments too if you need me to read anything off.
You see the original comments that we had?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so we were up to that. A young lady, something 50. I can't see the comment.
Coco 50 said, Kimberly R, for any one of the ladies that would like to answer, how did you persevere through the tough times?
Okay, just came back. How do you persevere through the tough times? So
persevere.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not trying to correct you. I'm good.
No.
Yeah,
listen, I'm okay. I flip flop words all the time. It's hilarious to me when I'm
my bad. So here's what we're gonna do. Focus. Let's do, because I got more questions coming into me.
Okay.
Focus. Let's do this. You do 2 minutes on that. Then okay. Vanessa, you do 2 minutes on that, and then Jessica, you do 2 minutes on that.
Sure.
So how do you persevere through the hard times?
Definitely prayer and my village. My village matters to me. I have specific people on a daily basis I touch base with, so I don't wear out any one person. That's the first thing. And then I offer the same support to other people in my life. And then I pick particularly like my two aunts. They've been married 45 years. So when I get stumped with a client, I refer to them, right? But I have a girlfriend who's never been married and still very bitter with men. So I don't consult with her, but she is amazing with her children. So I'll consult with her, right? So having a village absolutely matters, because you won't feel alone and you'll get out of your head. So people can actually speak into your life what they see you as, versus you downing yourself or being too high and mighty with yourself, which normally results of us comparing ourselves to other people.
Good stuff. Let's go ahead, Miss Jackson. It's on you. It's your minute.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that one of the things that is really important to do when you are going through those tough times is to borrow hope from somebody else. So Ms. James had talked about, having that tribe. I kind of call it my hot tub. Who do I want in my hot tub with me? So if you are supporting me and you're right there with me, then come join my hot tub. But those are the ones that I'm going to lean on when things get tough. And you have to be able to have somebody that understands what your goals are and that supports you regardless of what it is that you want to do, whether they agree or believe you or not. So that way, when you do have those tough times, you have an outlet to go to. And also, you want to tap back into, is this what I really want? Sometimes we set a goal and we decide halfway through to that goal, we change. We want to do something different. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people look at that as failure. I didn't achieve that. But no, that's just not because you're having a hard time, you don't want to go there, but because you have a different idea of what you want to do now. And to be able to allow yourself to do that, but to really tap in to what is it that I want to do, and then actually doing the activities. So a lot of times we will tell ourselves, I'm working really hard. I'm working really hard. This is too tough. I don't know what to do. Are we working really hard, or are we just busy? We want to make sure that busy work gets put to the wayside, and focused activities that will actually get us results are the things that we're prioritizing. So just really having that team of people and then having that focus helps a lot.
Good feedback. Good stuff. Ms. Parker, we'll wrap this question up with your input.
All right. So for me, I did not really have a village didn't have a village in the past when I would go through hard times. To lean on other people. My family lives overseas, and it was just really me here by myself. So I did not have that. So what that pushed me to do, though, is to kind of really look within and kind of figure out, what is this challenge supposed to teach me? What lesson am I supposed to be learning from this moment? And what I find is that every single challenge or problem is supposed to really push you really into the next phase of your life. If you don't just sit there and focus on the problem, but really try to analyze it and say, what is the lesson in this? How can I problem solve? Really, where is this supposed to push me? What areas do I need to work on? My character, my personality, maybe my style, the way I run my business, the way I deal with people. Like, what can I learn from this situation? So yeah, it'll push you into your faith. It'll push you into self-reflection and all that sort of stuff. And then we all heard the saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And that happened to me more than I can say, where the right coaches and mentors showed up in those moments, and they had a good word, or I heard a good sermon from a pastor, or, I listened to a good, YouTube channel or some personal development that, kept my spirit up to move and prioritize and really push through. So for those of you that don't have a village or family that's close, that you can lean on, because I know I work with agents that don't have that. They don't have a support system, and they really are on their own out there trying to figure it out. And they go through tough times financially. They go through tough times just believing in themselves. That's kind of what I've done during those times, just looking for the silver lining and allowing that moment really to prune you and make you better and work out those kinks in your character that you need to work on. And the right people will show up to help you along the way.
Good stuff. Excellent. And your story is kind of incredible, just like all three of your stories are incredible. But at one time, if I can remember, because all of you have a varied background, but if I can remember correctly, at one time you were homeless, correct?
That's right.
Okay. So you've overcome, you've had to persevere through some stuff, as has Miss Jackson and Miss James. Appreciate the input. Okay, I'm getting texts off the chain here. Okay, Mr. Albert Patterson made a comment. Oh, he's asking me a question. Mr. Patterson said for Miss Focus, it just went away. Okay, it's back. It's back. He says, I'm assuming Miss James' daddy-daughter book is about father relationships with their daughters.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that out. Yes, it's actually 13 women from 7 different states, 3 different time zones, from being in the projects and broke to Millionaires Row, to never been married and had 3 husbands. That's in this book. That's the plethora of women that we chose to share their story of how their daddy-daughter relationship affected their choices in education, career, their marriages, where they lived, how they moved and breathed. And it's really a celebration to acknowledge the importance of what a dad is. But what it also turned into was a massive 8 months of me supporting ladies through their daughter issues. It was an extraordinary feat. And we actually have a Facebook page called Daddy Daughter Dynamic. You're welcome to go there and become part of our conversation. To honor our dads, it's about healing. It's not about finding fault. because at some point, about a good 25 years of age, it's time to take responsibility. That's what I told my son. You got to about 25. After that, what could break and what you need insurance for, you need to know about, right? So no more excuses. We got to take our life and heal what we need to heal so we can live a juicy life. So that's what that book is about. Really taking our power and owning that for the most part, most men that are fathers, they're doing the best they can do with the information that we had. So let's clean that up and live our life from our choices, not from what had happened in our past.
Okay. Okay. So we've got folks on here that purchased your books and are familiar with your work. So that's excellent. Excellent. Let's keep going because I've got one more question for all three of you, and then a couple more questions came in. Let's see. Who's this question for? Okay. Question for Jessica Parker. Miss Parker, this question is for you. Okay, what do you think is the most important advice for someone who's just starting out as an entrepreneur? I've got two questions. I've got someone else that asked that question for all three of you. So, Miss Parker, this was directed at you, and I got one for all of you. So you take care of both these people now, and then I'll get to the other ladies. Go ahead. You go. You lead us off.
I was just talking about this to someone, so that's funny that question popped up. But a lot of people consider being entrepreneurs until they realize what it actually takes to be an entrepreneur, right? They see the glamour of it, they see how people are successful as being their own boss, but then when it's time to be one and do what they do, that's kind of where the rubber meets the road. And then, it's like, oh man, maybe I'm not going to be one. So what I would tell someone that's starting out as an entrepreneur, you have to really be very clear on your goal and what you're looking to achieve. You have to write down and be very clear with what you really, really, really want from your business and the long haul, what you want your business to do for you and how you see yourself in it. That has to be very clear. So you have to have a clear vision, because that vision will allow you to create the disciplines that you need to have on a daily basis to follow through. So if your vision is blurry and you're not 100% really sold out to your goal and what you're looking to accomplish, you're not going to have integrity with yourself. You're not going to follow through on all of those sacrifices that need to be made, the work that has to get put in, those things that you might have to let go, all of that. It's not an easy path, but I think once you are clear on that, it makes it a lot easier to get going and to get started and stay focused and really stick with it. Because most people stop, and then they, kind of said, oh, well, that thing didn't work. So that would be my advice to someone that's new into entrepreneurship, and look for mentors and coaches always.
Great advice. I'm not sure. I'm trying to see DG8. Hit us back and let us know if that absolutely answered your question for Miss Parker. I got two more, and then we're going to move towards our wrap. Give me one moment. Okay, for Miss Vanessa Jackson, let's bring Miss Jackson in. I'm loving this feedback. This is awesome. This is just awesome. Okay, so Miss Jackson, I got a question from someone that says, how does your program work? I guess people want to know how you melt in pounds and eliminate in inches.
That is the question of the century. A lot of people are like, wait, what's going on? What's the sauce, the secret sauce? Basically, it's a customized nutrition program. So every body is different. And depending on their needs and, any of the medical issues that they may have or their wants, their goals, it's going to be different for every single person. So customized nutrition program that basically fuels their body with all the nutrients that they need to be able to function optimally. And fuel is that key word. We want to make sure we're putting good quality fuel into your body so that you can do all the things that you want to do. You look at it from a car standpoint or a motorcycle. You're talking to me, and you put good quality. I actually put the highest value quality fuel that I can into my motorcycle because I want it to function properly. So let's think about ourselves like that. Let's put the best quality fuel into our bodies that we can do, and then we're going to be able to get the best out of it. We also actually have 3 other components too. So you get a coach, and that would be me. So yay! I would coach my clients through. I would be there to help celebrate their successes. I would help them through any challenges that they may have, and basically just be that accountability partner throughout the entire process. And then we have the education piece that I kind of touched on earlier, to be able to help them develop those healthy habits. And then we have that supportive community. So all four components together is really what makes this program work. And we do have predictable results. So it's pretty simple. You don't have to, do a lot that with the nutrition piece of it. We're making sure that you're keeping your blood sugar levels nice and stable. We're not letting them drop and then spike. And we're giving you a plan that is very simple to be able to do. It's everybody has a busy life these days. And we want to make sure that if you can succeed on your busiest, craziest day, then you're going to just do great on all the other days. And so I actually, about a year and a half ago, we were evacuated out of our home because of fires. And I was able to grab what I needed and be displaced from my home for 3 days and not skip a beat on program because of the simplicity of it. So truly is, on your worst day, you can still stick to program, which helps to make everybody successful.
Yeah, the first thing I was going to say is you make it sound so simple, but you already covered that. So you make it sound so simple, and it is. Good stuff.
Yes.
Excellent feedback. Okay, I'm enjoying the night. This is so cool. Okay, just so you know, Miss Focus James, the gentleman who texted me about the daddy-daughter book, he said it has been the perfect book dealing with his relationship with one of his daughters. So, success there. And that's always a positive. I got someone question for Focus, Mr. Chris Garrett. I don't know if he texted you directly.
He did. So I shared in our promo to invite people that men, I know they want respect and the S word. And the S word is submit. How to get a woman to submit. And here's the formula, fellas. Drum roll, please. It is to make sure that she is seen and heard, right? A woman wants to be seen and heard. She wants you to study her in a way that you communicate, that you not only speak life into her, but you really get her world. And I know our world changed a lot. You can even say that to a woman. Listen, sweetie, I want to understand your world, and I'm not really, tapped in today. Can you, give me some feedback? Where we at today? That attentiveness will cause her to want to fall into your leadership. She'll respect you and be willing to submit simply because she trusts you. Why? Because you study her. You have her world and her best interest in mind, and she wants your vote, she wants your ear, and she wants your leadership. So that is the formula. Make sure that your woman is seen and heard, right? And we got a lot of A-listers and A-type personalities in our industry, network marketing and entrepreneurship. So what I get, the problem normally with the couple is that he has now won her heart, he has married her, and he puts her on the shelf like all his other trophies or awards. And then that's what breaks down the relationship. Fellas, I just want to say out loud, a woman is something you can't win, right? It's like every day there's a nurturing that has to happen. So it's not at the end of the 30 days, you got all 45 of your blah, blah, blahs and widgets, so you achieved it. No, it's something that needs to be consistently nurtured, and you'll have her heart and definitely have her submission as well.
Appreciate you. Excellent.
Thank you.
This has been excellent. I like when everything doesn't work perfectly. And I tell you, I do. I have the best shows when something, like something as small as, maybe some feedback, which we had a little earlier. Maybe, the chat boxes aren't all enabled. But when people start to use their ingenuity, like texting in and grabbing home, make sure this question get answered. We put a little bit more into our answer when that happens, because we understand you did a little bit more to get that question to us. So, and when I say us, I'm representing the three lady leaders right now. So it's appreciated. And the last question I'm going to pose is for all three of you. And I apologize to this individual who asked this earlier, but I forgot, but it's right here. Question is, what are some of the most unique challenges and things? Oh, no, I read that wrong. What are some of the things we should not do that become challenges, unique challenges to us building our business or our life culture. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna let who wants to go first? Okay, thank you, Ms. Jackson. She's gonna go first.
Sure, I will take that one. So if you can just repeat it, I just want to make sure I'm answering it properly.
Okay, it said, tell me what are the most important, what are the challenges? It's not kind of like smooth, okay? But what are the challenges that can keep me, I'm tell you what I think it says. What are some of the challenges that can keep me from being successful in business and in life, the things I should not do? That's what I think it says.
Okay. So if I think I understand it correctly, it's like what I shouldn't be doing to be able to still have the success that I want in life. At least that's what I'm hearing. So one of the most important things is to know your desires and to not let anybody else take your focus away from that. So many people that like you, love you, are friends with you, all of those things, they mean the best sometimes, and sometimes they don't. They may try to take your focus away by giving you criticism, telling you things in a loving way, but that you're never going to make it. Now, I had some friends, I actually talked about this story earlier tonight. Back in 1994, in my very first business, it was one of my very closest friends. And I asked her to just support me in my business. And she said, absolutely not. And it was the hardest thing for me because I started thinking, well, if my friends and my family aren't going to support me, who is? And instead of letting that crumble me, I actually used that to light my fire and to continue to go. And I was like, I'm going to be successful in spite of them. Not everybody has that fire to be lit, but I'm a little rebel. So it worked for me. Tell me I can't do something and then I'll show you that I can. But to really not let anybody derail you off of what your goal is. If you have that fire in your belly and you feel that in your heart, you find a way to get it done. And if you need to cut people out of your life to do it, sometimes we have to cut that negativity out. So it's the hard things to do sometimes, but if that's what you want, go with your heart.
You know, so such good feedback. I remember years ago doing a training with a couple of the leaders about not allowing somebody's why not to overcome your why. You know, and that's what you're saying. Don't allow somebody's why not to overcome your why. Your why is your reason. Yeah. Now, I got two other lady leaders. The floor is yours. It's a great question. I just needed to figure out how to read it.
Yeah, I'll go next. So my top two will definitely don't quit your job too soon. Write that down. Write that down 3 times, put an asterisk next to it, circle it, and highlight it. So many people who leave their job too soon or don't realize it's time to go get a job now, right? So, and a job is not a nasty word. It's a W-2 that can actually get you a car, a house, and some good credit. So I don't like when people swing the pendulum that entrepreneur is the only way to go, and that why would you ever go get a business, right? It's so much all in between it. And it's so okay to have a job and transition out of a job into a business. A job is not a dirty word. So it's so okay to have solid finances while you're building and transitioning. We have this is amazing Ms. Parker. We have Steve Harvey. We have a couple other people who did go homeless before they hit it big. But most people are not. So you just can't be creative when your stomach is growling and your lights is out. So hold on to your job and strategically transition. And that's exactly how I had to become. I became full-time myself. I had a financial planner, and we planned in 90-day increments. So if for 90 days I made X amount of money, I get to not have a job, right? And then because I had about 5 months worth of money saved, so that this way I had 2 months to get my hustle on with my resume to get a job, right? So it's very strategic. Don't swing it. I believe in God too, but this is not just about faith. Then if the numbers won't lie, right? So that's my number one thing. My number 2 thing is back to what Vanessa said. The number 1 reason people don't succeed is family and friends. They'll talk you out of it because they just know you as little cousin. little Focus, right? Little Vanessa, right? They just know you that way, right? They just know you
Right.
that way. So you want to get with a mentor, right? Someone that can speak life into you, that's been there and done that. Your learning curve will just collapse. And then you want to get a mentee, because when you teach, you learn. So that's my formula that I would share, in regards to that question.
Great advice. Don't leave your job too soon. So many people do.
Yes.
Great advice.
Yes.
Man, ladies, okay. Miss Parker, bring us home.
I totally agree with everything Miss Vanessa and Miss Focus, what they said. You definitely have to, be careful who is in your ear,
Yes.
and definitely don't quit your job too soon. I've made that mistake, and I have a story to tell. Well, the third thing I can add to that is, minding your self-talk. Not having all that negative self-talk. Like, we beat ourselves up so much by the things that we say to ourselves, and we talk us out of things, and we're second guessing ourselves. And one of my mentors, he made me aware of that. And I got to shout him out, Mr. Sean Simmons. He told me, stop second guessing yourself. You have to become a great decision maker. And I didn't realize that I had a challenge with that. I would second guess myself. I knew what to do, but I would second guess myself.
Right.
So minding your self-talk, and don't second guess yourself. Like, believe in yourself and follow through with what you set out to do. And it goes in back to, what people tell you, and you're listening to it, and that causes you to second guess. That I think falls in within those two other big, very important points of being those things that you're not supposed to do. Try not to do that. And it's for me a habit, really, because we default to a negative thought, right? We default to negative self-talk. So it's something that you have to intentionally practice, by doing affirmations.
Great.
I would write out little index cards and have them hanging up all over the place, just changing my defaults, what I would say to myself. Oh, I can't, I did, all of those negative things, and flip them into positives. And those things, when you do that, it helps you to get this right, because it's all a mental thing at the end of the day.
Excellent, ladies. I really have enjoyed this evening. I have. I will tell you this. I had two gentlemen ask me this question. They said, "So, lady night is all just about ladies," and I told both of them the same thing. I said, "Success clues come from wherever they come from. People that are successful leave the right clues no matter who they are." And then I had another individual after last month's show that was talking about, that concept of leaving the job too early. And, it's just amazing that, the success principles that apply to men apply to women, apply to all of us. So this has been a night of ladies who are leaders, who lead everyone. This is not exclusionary. So I hope that everyone took the information. Even some information was discussed last month, this month, and on previous shows, because success leaves clues. And you know what? It just seems like the most successful people, men and women alike, today, ladies leaders, but men and women alike, we just happen to drink a lot from the same cup. We just do. We read a lot of the same books. We just happen to ascribe to a lot of the same schools of thought, which Ms. Parker just said, we got to get the thought right, which actually all three of our guests said that. You get this thought right, everything will be okay. So tonight has truly been a night of sharing. It has great info, lady leaders, awesome answers. And, I had fun. I really did. Everyone now is just not just familiar with your names, but, they better understand your passion and the impact that your projects are having on other people, whether it's socially, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's business building. All of this is about building the individual. So I want to thank all of you for opening up for the betterment of all of us, starting with myself. But if my audience, once again, wants to follow you or contact you for assistance, advice, nutrition, or anything else, okay, and just keep up with your careers and where you're continuing to lead folks. Let's share your contact information one more time for folks that might have joined us late too. So, Miss Vanessa, we'll start with you.
Absolutely. So phone number is 302-494-4046. And Facebook, because there are a million Vanessa Jacksons out there, this is the Facebook. If you're typing it in, it is facebook.com/VJack. So V as in Vanessa, Jack as in Jackson, VJack, Bond Girl, BONDGIRL, 007. So facebook.com/VJack Bond Girl 007.
And that was the movie where you were a stunt double, right?
I wish that would have been excellent. I felt like a stunt double this weekend because had my bike set on fire, but it's all good.
I ain't even going there. I appreciate you, ma'am. I really do. Miss Focus, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes, simply my name, focusjames.com. Focusjames.com. All of my social media is over there. And please grab my ebook called 8 Hacks to Live in a Purposeful Life. It is an amazing ebook to really help you, set the trails of how you're going to live your life. A lot of people are busy and they climb the wrong ladder and get up there and go, oh no, oh my goodness, and got to start all over again. And you don't want to do that. You want to have a juicy, fulfilling life. So go to focusjames.com and you can download that free ebook.
Appreciate you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Miss Jessica, how can we contact you?
All right. So you can find us, the Parker Group, on our website at tparkergroup.com. All of our social media handles are on that website, tparkergroup.com. You can reach our office at 856-888-1270, 856-888-1270. And then my email, you can reach me there at jparkergroup@yahoo.com. And what else we got? IG, Miss Parker _TPG. And that's pretty much it. And if you want to attend tomorrow's workshop, you definitely want to hop on the website, fill out the fillable form. That automatically has us reaching out to you, and we will send you the link for the Zoom so you can register and participate in finding out how to make your life insurance business pop or how to get licensed. Thank you so much, Mr. Casey Towns.
Appreciate all of you. I really do. And here's the thing, these shows are designed to give back, to reach back and help others. So I appreciate all of you for keeping us in the know about all the good things that you're doing and you're creating. And if you have any last words for you before we go, share with us now. Anything I didn't cover, anything you want to share?
Okay.
Good.
Oh, go ahead.
Who's that?
We're seeing you solo, Mr. Towns, if that's what you want.
No, I'm doing this.
Okay.
Any last thing you want to share?
Be great. Dominate.
There you go. I know
right.
someone talked earlier about, how do you persevere through the hard times? And again, it just comes down to don't quit. No matter what, don't quit. Keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, self-care is so important, guys. I mean, we see people all over the world achieving certain things, and I think that's wonderful. But you really want to have a deep sense of self-fulfillment and some love, because anybody transitioning, nobody's thinking about, I should have brought a bigger house. They're thinking about the fond memories of beautiful things, of relationships they create. So slow down and speed up and make sure you're anchored into the people that love you and that you love.
Appreciate all of you. Miss Parker, you got anything for us before we go?
I'll just say, make a decision, decide what you want, decide what you really, 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 really want.
Yeah.
And then you can create, when you have that the vision for your life, you can create the disciplines for your life, and everything else flows from there.
Good stuff. Excellent. I want to remind everybody that we're going to return next month with an incredible show. We have what we call a spotlight show. Tonight was ladies' night. Next month is a spotlight show with just one guest. We're going to talk business, We're going to break it down. This is a very successful person. I can't give it away so far. I can't give it away at this point, but we have an incredible show next month. I want to thank everyone who participated in this month, because there's no next month unless we build the road with this month. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate you being on. Stay tuned to kctowns.com for training, spotlight interviews, and just so much more. With that, everybody, take care. Stay healthy. Keep it tuned to the place where underdogs expect to win, kctowns.com. Everybody have a great evening. And with that, I'll leave you with this music. All my best.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.